The Duke's Infant and Child Foundation, advocating for children's brighter future.
Okay, they're going to call it from that, and thank you very much. Let's give her a big hand. Once you be there, let's give a citation. Omobola Olaribigbe. Please, let's get a citation when she comes forward. Give her a big hand. You can do better than that, please.
Omobola Olaribigbe is a distinguished educationist, entrepreneur, and social impact advocate with a career focused on strengthening education and operational excellence in Nigeria. She is currently advancing her strategic leadership expertise as a Doctor of Business Administration DBA candidate at Rome Business School. As a doctorate researcher, Omobola's work bridges theory and real-world transformation. Her research centers on leadership and organizational change, governance, and sustainability in education through a social enterprise lens. She is committed to developing evidence-based leadership models and building institutional resilience, translating complex ideas into practical solutions for resource-constrained environments. Omobola's Leadership Foundation is supported by degrees from the University of Lagos, Nigeria, and the University of Wales, United Kingdom, and executive training at the Surrey Business School, University of Oxford, United Kingdom. She is a certified Scrum Master, CSM, and holds a certification in Emotional Intelligence, EQ, known for her practice of listening without judgment. She applies a strong relationship management and empathy-driven leadership to build trust and performance across teams. A certified Microsoft educator and mentee of the Shelley Blair Foundation, Omobola balances her professional life with a strong commitment to wellness, travel, and cultural exploration. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Omobola Olaribigbe.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ẹ̀yin olùkọ́ ẹ káàsán o. Ẹ̀yin ìyá mi ẹ káàsán. Ẹ̀yin bàbá mi ẹ káàsán. I'm so happy to be here today. I've seen this trainer since last year, and I've been fascinated by it. I say well done to the trainers. Oh, youth, ẹ káàsán youth, ẹ má bínú o. Remember I see before. I'm so sorry. Okay, so thank you very much, the trainer, and thank you, Ogun State. It's been just seeing each and every one of you here, even from the crowd outside. It's been fantastic. Well done, well done. Thank you so much for taking your time out to be here. So, to go into the things, please, who doesn't understand Yoruba here? If you don't understand Yoruba, just raise up your hand. Everybody understands Yoruba here. I don't see hands. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Ta go. Small. Okay, don't worry. You get the gist. So I'll please ask for one thing. Like they said, my name is Omobola Olaribigbe, and I'm happy to be home. So I'll just give you a short story. My mother is from Ogun State. I bet that to be precise. And yes. So actually, the name of my school is Ikija Day School, and it's formed after Ikija in this Ogun State. So the school is in Surulere. It's 47 years old. It was founded by my mother. So ilé náà ni mo wà, so ọmọ yín ni mo jẹ́. Thank you. Ọmọ alẹ́ ìdàrú. Ṣẹ́jọ́ tó náà lọ́mọ fẹ́ tọrọ ọkàn lọ́wọ́ yín gbogbo yín. Ẹjọ́ ẹ bá mi kọ orin Ogun State yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹni tí mò ń bá lọ, this is not Ogun State national anthem. Please can you recite it again? Yeah. Please be seated. When the song was actually first, my friend Bimbo told me that I didn't hear the Ogun national anthem, I didn't hear it. So the second time was when I was seated there, and I was like, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. If you actually do listen to the words, it is more relevant now than ever. People don't want to walk anymore. Do we agree? People just want that fasting. And I believe that that song, if we actually begin to play it and internalize the words in that song, it will be a game changer with this present generation that we are raising. So thank you very much. Whoever found that, God bless that person. So thank you very much. I'm going to start with, it's going to be a mix of course, English and Yoruba. I'm going to start with a story. So there was this boy, his name was Tunde, that was his name, Baba Tunde, but Tunde for short. From primary school to secondary school, he was an all-star student, meaning that in terms of academics, he'd always be first position in WAEC. He scored 7 A's in WAEC. And then he went to university. He came out with a 2-1 as a second-class offer. And his family, his father, a carpenter, his mother, a businesswoman. They were all very happy. He had his siblings as well. They had succeeded because he had finished school. So 6 years later, Tunde is now 28 years old. He's in his mother's house. Over 300 applications sent. Did he get the interviews? Absolutely, he got the interview because he had the qualification to get the interview. But every time he went for the interview, and they asked him questions, what are your challenges? Who are you? What are the things that you are going to solve? How do you work under pressure? My dear Tunde would freeze. At that point, he couldn't get the job. Over 300 applications. Every interview he went into, he never got into the second step. And do we know why? So if I'm to ask each and every one of us, how many Tundes do we know that's going through this kind of things? Show of hands, please. A lot of Tundes. Thank you very much. So the thing is that Tunde is not a failure. Tunde is just a product of a system designed to produce certificates, not to be a complete human being. What Tunde needed was the superpowers nobody taught him. So I then came up with this framework. It says, raise. After store, we think what school is for. A, ask more than an answer. I, identity before certificate. Show character daily and educate us through your questions. So I'm going to run us through this framework so it will begin to help us to move Tunde and not produce these types of Tundes anymore. So my topic says, intentional education for raising Generation Next. Please, do we know what Generation Next is? Or who Generation Next are? Generation Next. They are the next generations coming. So we hear a lot of Gen Z. We learn a lot of Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha now, they are children born from 2010 to 2024. Those are Generation Alpha. Now, from 2025, we now have Generation Beta. Generation Beta is coming. So Generation Beta, they will be about one, they are already alive. So they will be around 1 to 2. Some of them are even in school already. Some of them are in crèche. By September, some of them are going to enter into nursery 1. So that we do not produce the likes of these Tundes anymore, we are going to use this race framework. So we start with R. We need to begin to rethink what school is for. I hope we all agree that life has changed completely. The world of work has changed. If you ask people now, what do you want to become? Influencer, content creator, YouTuber, AI, clinical, all sorts of things. Even within engineering, you will still see something that they've done now. Even in medicine, we can see a lot of things has changed. So therefore, if we are still teaching the same way we've been teaching the Tundes of this world, it's not going to work anymore. It's not, and I would say, some people say, I think it's just about technology. No, it's not about technology. It's about intentionality as a parent and as a teacher. So it's not about, so now we see 17-year-olds making money. What are they doing? Legal money, legit money. Some of them are sampling toys online. Some of them are doing gaming. They are producing apps and all sorts. Was it not a teacher that taught them? So if as teachers in the classroom, we still are teaching from the way things were before, it's not going to change. We need to begin to rethink what schools are now. Otherwise, a lot of schools are going to end up as museums. Things catch up late in Nigeria. I know that. When are we going to get there? Remember when we started January? I remember January very well. Happy New Year, happy New Year. Let me not even go January. January is too far. I'm a Muslim, a practicing one at that. Ramadan started how many days? For those of us fasting here, it's today. They what? So even if it is 10 years time, Ọlọ́run adé ni gbogbo wa sí 10 years yẹn máa dé náà ni. Even if the rest of the world, Nigeria will still catch up. They've been using mobile phone in different parts of the world before it came to Nigeria. When it came to Nigeria, Nigeria blew it. Nigeria blew Obasanjo's phone. Obasanjo go down more. He blew it, and that's how Nigeria works. See Guinness World of Records, and what is that thing that they are doing? It has come to Nigeria. I don't think they ever thought in their life how Guinness World Records, how they've become so popular now. It's because of Nigerians. So when these things come, and we that were supposed to be the custodian of the education, teachers, the bedrock of professions, and we are still stagnant in the way we are teaching children, it's not going to work. We need to begin to rethink what school is all about. When Tunde was in school, nobody showed him practical skills. Tunde was not taught any digital skills, how to create, freelance, or build anything of value. When they were doing extracurricular activities in the school, Tunde's parents would say, no, ìwé mo ní kó lọ kà. Ìwé mo ní kó lọ kà. Mo ò ní kó lọ máa fò. Mo ò ní kó lọ máa ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tí ìwé ni mo rẹ, master in English. And the boy came. He passed. He did everything his parents were supposed to do. Nobody told him farming. I hope you all know that farming is now a big deal. Mr. Kirako, can you confirm that? Farming is a big deal. I wish I could go into it myself. If not for this, you know what I'm talking about. That's why Moshe shaking it. Musa saying, "Yami labor gokoto bini." So Moshe shaking it. So what are the things? There's farming, there's gaming, trade, so many things. There's nothing wrong. Àwọn ọmọ tá à ń tọ́ sìn tó ti ń ṣòwò tọrọ kọ́bọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe mọ iye owó nìyẹn wọ́n ṣe mọ iye owó nìyẹn ìgbà tí home economics or those things that we do and we say we need to look for a big machine. One machine in a school can do magic. One machine in a school can do magic. When we are in the classroom and we want to gamify our classrooms, so everybody there, when Dr. Bimbo said we should do selfie, I saw the excitement in the room. Everybody was holding on to their phone. Virtually everybody here has a phone. And I'm sure if you do another census, about 80% of us will have an internet-enabled phone. When we have a class, I understand if it's government schools, we have a lot of students, but we can always have, cohorts of them. Have the children collaborate. Gamify our classroom, gamify our lessons. There are different apps. It's just about going online. There are a lot of things we can actually do online. It's just for those children to be able to see that life is not about our exercise group, math and English. Sometimes we struggle so much to teach a child. But once the child, because their lives are on these phones now, give them that phone and gamify the class. The child learns better. The children that are watching those cartoons, I just don't subscribe to the cartoon or putting a child in front of cartoon all day long. But there are lots of cartoons. I remember when my little girl there was Dora the Explorer. Dora the Explorer had a lot of mathematics in it. If I was to call her at that age to come and do 1 + 1, but because Dora was jumping up and down, she will relate more with Dora. So one thing I will also ask is that if I was to ask each and every one of you here, what is that one thing that school never taught you that you are using today, that you were not taught in the classroom, that you are using today? Because Dr. Bean was all the technology. Apart from that, what about how to handle money? Money. Financial literacy. We were not taught that in school. But we need it more than ever. Is it possible for us to put it in our classrooms, in our subjects? People that study business studies, entrepreneurship and government has done a lot of that. They only teach entrepreneurship. Do they teach the money side of it? At the end of the day, ṣiṣẹ́ la máa rí àmìrówó. They will tell you that they can't save money. But that's not true. It's because they are educated financially. That is why they are missing the point. And please, people of Abeokuta, if you agree with my point, please say bow. Thank you very much. We are going to change that way. So, financial literacy. One other thing I will also talk about that, probably will not learn taught in school, emotional intelligence. We were not taught emotional intelligence in school, and we need it more than ever now. We don't say our own sin. Emotional intelligence. We were brought up with so much fear growing up. Our teachers, our parents, now more than ever, it's essential that every teacher must have that intelligence, emotional intelligence, financial intelligence. All these things are things that can be taught in the classroom, where every subject will be paired with a real-life application, an application that we can use in our communities. We have businesses in our communities now. Why are we not inviting them into the schools to have discussions with our children, to teach them how business is being run? Even there are some people that maybe the reality is that there's just a kiosk. The woman just has a kiosk down the road. Invite her. She will be able to speak the language. Mama, Arike, or Alamala. Let me use food, for instance. We know a lot of people that sell food. They build so many houses. They are very rich people. I'm talking to my mom this year, so I'm sure you understand. Why are we not inviting them and asking them, Mommy, for 20-something years. Let them come into the school. Let them share their story. The children are able to connect with such stories. They have grandmothers. They are into business. Let's invite them into the school. We have resources in us. We don't even have to go too far. Mommy, what happened? Daddy is a farmer, and we all know he's a successful farmer. Let's call him and find out from him. Daddy, what are the challenges that he met along the way? He's going to talk about trust. He's going to talk about people that stole things from him, but he's also going to talk about comeback, because he's going to share his story that, do you think I was successful from year 1 to year 20 that you are looking at now? He will share his journey, and that journey is going to connect with these children. They will see that we will have falls, but definitely we'll have to stand up. So, free local businesses. Another thing we can practice is what they call career day in our schools. Career day is also the same way. It's not just about doctor and all those are their lives. Doctor, lawyer, no. It is about our reality. Even if you have a local doctor, you can also invite him. People aspire. There are police people that you can also invite to speak in our school. When we had our career day in our school, we invited our parents that were tailors, seamstresses, the people that were making shoes and bags. Those were the people that we invited. And we know that next year, when we want to do, we'll connect with the tech people. So we just have to have a blend. It's not just about the certificate alone, or the people that are wearing tie, or bankers. No. Some people want to go into food. What will happen is that tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tó ń ta àmàlà bóyá nínú ṣẹ́ẹ̀dì kan ọmọ tó fi ìwé sí á tún gbéga jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn. Á gbéga jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. So we need to invite them. It's their reality. And it is something we can always explore. So now the action says every school, 3 local business partnerships, 1 word of work day, that is career, then 1 real life application project per 10. That is very important. 1 real life application project. If not per 10 per session, you can divide the children. Let them give you real life projects. What is wrong in Ewekoro in Ogun State? Is it the road? Do we not have good toilets in the school? There's water problem. There's flooding problem. Give it to the children. Let them go and find a solution. They might not be 100%, but you begin to let them see and think of problems in the community that they can begin to solve. We need to begin to raise problem solvers. I hope you know we have a lot of challenges in Nigeria. I'm not going to call it problem, they are challenges because we'll definitely overcome them. Hopefully, but that was a prayer. And we all like, I didn't say amen. Please, so we need to begin to think in words. The next A says, ask more than you answer. We are teaching children to pass, not to think. And that is a fact. Tunde knew exactly. So story of Tunde continues. Tunde knew exactly what every teacher wanted to hear. What is a boy? Who is a boy? The normal thing. 16 years perfecting that skill. That is precisely why he froze. Nobody ever asked him what he thought. Only what he knew, what he read, and he was doing copy and paste. He will write, go and read your physical education book. He will read it, write it back for the teacher. Teacher will mark it. No teacher ever asked him in all his exams that if this happens, if somebody throws a piece of paper here, another person throws a piece of paper here, and it begins to rain, what is going to happen? Nobody asked him that. All they just said is that there's flooding. What are the types of flooding? Where does flooding occur? Nobody asked. Start from, those are outcomes. What are the deep problems? How did that problem start? Nobody asked him that. So Tunde never lacked efforts. He just lacked connection. From childhood, like his parents would always say, go and focus on your books. That's why he sent you to school. He knew hard work. Nobody taught him smart work. He studied alone because his parents always told him, "Ma bayo kàwé o, wọ́n bayo pín kan o, wọ́n bayo pín kan." He went to the university. He couldn't mix because there was always that family notion that ilé ayé le. I agree, ilé ayé le tòótọ́, but báwa ṣe rí nìyẹn kò gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ̀ sí ilé ayé le. He was afraid to make connections with people. He was only with his siblings and they knew only one word. So at 28, when he was going for the interviews and he didn't have anybody he would connect, he didn't have anybody he was going to call to say, Paddy, what's going on now? There's a job application somewhere. Come and put in your application. You're a good student. I know you are very brilliant. He didn't connect. He didn't make friends from school. I hope you know that it's not those brilliant students that are billionaires today. Ẹni tó mọ̀wé, bẹ́ẹ̀ni, those are the ones that are making money. Ẹni tó mọ̀wé. Yes, because those that have that relationship management skills, And social skills are the ones that are making it today. They are the ones connecting the brilliant ones, all the best students come and work for them. Because before you know it, wọ́n ti ta mélé. Mo ò sọ̀rọ̀ pa abẹ́bẹ́ gbígbẹ́ o, mi ò encourage ẹ̀. But àwọn ọmọ tó jẹ́ pé tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ̀yin gbọ́ mọ̀ pé ẹ kọ̀rọ̀ mi ní kúkú dẹ̀ láìpẹ́ ọmọ yìí. Mo dẹ̀ láìpẹ́ ọmọ yìí. And they developed that because when Tunde was at home, and his parents were asking him for anything. You talk too much, keep quiet. It's not because they were telling his younger ones, keep quiet. Get me so sorrow you. And he was keeping quiet. He was the firstborn of his family. He didn't want them to shout at him. So, he says, the thinking culture, you should let children sit with hard questions. We should ask them hard questions. Have children ask them questions that are tough so that they can actually sit down and think it through. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? What did you notice? Before explaining anything, ask them why. Why do you think the light went off when Dr. Bimbo was on stage? Ask questions. The child will tell you, no, they took life. Why do you think they took life? What happened? How did children speak? And you see, another thing that was mentioned earlier was about connection with children. You see, when you have a child in the class that is not speaking, and you've had that child for a term, and that child is still not speaking, if you were to self-diagnose that child, you discover that that child doesn't trust the teacher. And children only learn when they trust adults. That's how you can connect with children. You need to ask questions. Ask them. Don't just jump to give them the answer. Oh, there's no light. Come into the class. What happened on Saturday? Where did you go to? You know, connect with them. Let them see that we are also human beings. I'm sure if one of your old teachers was to come into this class, there are some of my old teachers that when I see them, I'm still afraid of them. I'm still afraid of them. It's when I remember the feeling, Ejo, and good afternoon, my good afternoon. There are some of them supposed to be greeting anymore because of the wickedness that they did back then. Yes, there are some teachers, I'm sure we all have them. They are not, that was just victimizing you for no reason, maybe because their husband had offended them. They will now come to school and bring out their aggression on you. So, let's ask children questions. One question this week in every lesson. Why do you think so? Track how children respond. Track how they respond. What has changed? I say this identity before certificate. Why I love this so much is because that was why I told us that we should please sing that song. When we say children of nowadays, they have changed. I don't quite agree with that statement. I don't believe the children have changed. I believe it is we, the adults, that have adapted and have taken over and let the children do a lot of things that they do. It's the investment that has changed. Family dynamics have changed. Family dynamics have changed. Identity. A child does not know who they are anymore. A child does not know who they are anymore. My name is Omobola. My name is Omobola. I know why my mother gave me that name, Omobola. I know why. Every Yoruba name, even Igbos, it has a meaning. It has a meaning. And it might be because of something that's happening in the house at that particular point in time, or something that is happening in the life of the children. Do our children know why we need them that name that they bear? We need to be able to tell stories to our children. Even if because you just love that name that you heard from somebody, not a problem. Let them know. Identity is very important. You see, Tunde was educated in English. He was taught in English. He dreamed in English. He did not know what his own name meant. He was never told where his people come from. Tunde never had his family dynamics with him. He did not know why his family was Akinwoko. Because Akiniwani they were. Why they are called Balogun? Why are we called Ashipa? Kílé tó sọ wá lájà yìí? Kílé tá ń jẹ́ Ọ̀dẹ́rìndé? Or day one, when we begin to boost our children's morale, we put their grandfather, their great grandfather down. It's a of pride and confidence these days. We need to go back to the roots. We need to go back. We need to boost our children's confidence. There's nothing to shy away from. In Lagos now, it's a pride. When people say, my child cannot speak Yoruba, and I feel sorry for people when they say that. Tọ́mọ yẹn bá dé ìdálẹ̀, tó bá fẹ́ pa kò ní mọ̀. Àwọn ọmọ míì wọ́n wá láti Èkó yẹn, they will come to this Ogun State and they want to do something bad to them. But because their parents, they don't even understand Yoruba, they shielded it from them. They will not escape because of the language barrier. We are lost in translation. It is a problem now. We need to be able to carry our roots. We need to be able to know that that curriculum exists in the home as well. I'm going to ask you one question now. What is that thing that your mom or your grandfather taught you back then that you use today, every day? I will start with mine. That's what my mother always tells me. And what does that thing teach me? It teaches me patience. Every time she tells me something, let's think about it. Tell the person beside you, what is that thing that your parents or your mother or your, an elderly person always told you when you were growing up and you are still using today? It's very, very important. So there's identity before certificate. So we need to, I'll just go into how to solve that. Parents need to create a culture whereby 10 minutes a day, you share things that they've observed, children have learned, you ask them questions from school. What should we do today? When there's a problem in the house, we need to begin to involve the children and ask them their perspective about it. If we think they don't know what's going on, we're lying. They know. You might not tell them the nitty-gritty of it, but please share with them. Ask for their perspective. Tell children who they are, the meaning of their name, their family roots, their community story. Let us reclaim the language. Let us speak it at home. Let your child hear it. So I'm going to go into the S. So I have to run through these things now. But you all see this slide. He said, character is not a subject. It is the whole curriculum. Yoruba says something. Iwalewa. Iwalewa. Iwale shwenyo. Yoruba says that. And our so the problem in Nigeria is not that we have an illiteracy gap. The problem is that integrity in our educated people has really been flawed. You see, when children see these things and we say, and we normalize some certain things, bribery for instance, it's a Nigerian thing, it's a Nigerian culture. We can never change. And that's the truth. We can never change. We say it's a cultural thing. You see, character is taught. You can't teach it. For what a teacher models, that's what the children will begin to experience. Children are looking at each and every one of us, how we are acting towards each other, what we are doing with that money they are giving us. You find some children nowadays that you send them work, you give them money, they will never return the change. And you don't correct it. Or you beat the child. Ask the child, the child probably might not come to you next time. But if every adult is able to correct that child, because you send them something and they don't return change. Almost extra school fees. Yes, ọdún ọ̀sán ẹgbẹ́ kẹ̀ ṣe wẹ́ẹ̀sì tún school fees. Ó yẹ kọ́ ọ̀yẹ́ wá ní òkè láti lè ṣe, wọ́n ní lè ṣe, ọlọ́run àmà àbùkún yín. Nínú orí òbínú àwú, ẹ má jẹ́ ká gbàgbé gbogbo nǹkan tó fi fún àwọn àdàgbà. Káwá mú fún àwọn yẹn pé kò necessary. kò ní ọmọ wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá a máa fi ọwọ́ òsì fún wa ní nǹkan àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ sọ pé ìgbàlódé ìgbà burúkú lóde o ìgbà burúkú lóde so the other thing for school is that let us continue to celebrate academics but part of it is that we should also begin to celebrate character. Most honest students. Let's celebrate when a child finds something and send it back to the owner. Let's lost and found. Ọmọ yẹn kò sọmọ tó ń jalè. Ọmọ rí bisikíìtì lẹ́ẹ̀lẹ̀. Ohun lọ fún tíṣà. Ẹjẹ́ àbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ti gbé wọn lárugẹ. Ká sọ lórí assembly. Ká má máa fi yẹn pamọ́ kó jẹ́ ọmọ tó pé first àti second nínú maths àti English nìkan là ń celebrate. Là ń glorify. We should stop doing that as well. So the E says that educators fill your cup. Thank you very much. Educators fill your cup. Was telling you can't run on empty. You see, when you come for this kind of programs, you invest in yourselves. You need to find communities of educators as well that will refer you. Things are changing every day. Things are changing every day. We need to run in time. We need to know what is going on in the education space. And so, do you remember my today's story? He had everything the system could give him. What he did not have was himself. Tunde did everything he was asked to do. He studied, he passed, he showed up. Nobody failed him once. The system failed him every day. Imagine if someone has shown today how to amplify that his father's carpentry job. And today put his father's carpentry job online and was helping his father to make more money. His mother that was a businesswoman, he could use Canva, he could do he had digital literacy, he could help to amplify his mother's business to the rest of the world. Imagine what fortune today will have made. Even before he started, he would have started his own business. He had a farmer he could connect with. He could have started farming while waiting for that job. So Tunde was not the problem. The system was. We are that system. It's also, we can choose to be different. So the children of today are not the leaders of tomorrow. They are the leaders of today. What are we teaching them right now by how we live? One last thing. Ọmọ tí a kò bá kọ́ yóò di oníta. Ọmọ tí a kò kọ́ yóò di oníta kọ́ta. And I'm sure that law is very true. And this time around, it's not about education, even about character. Ọmọ tí a kò bá kọ́, ilé ta bá kọ́ yẹn, òun ló máa gbé ta. Wọ́n ti gbélé wa ta o. So the child we fail to educate is the child who will sell the house we have built. Our elders believe in this. The best time to educate a child intentionally was the day the child was born. The second best time is today. So today is still out there. The teacher who could not have changed everything for him, that person is also still out there. The parents who still can. The school owner sitting in this room right now. That person is you. Hey, Ogun, Ogun, you. Thank you very much.
Wow, shine the light. Oops, shine the light. Shine the light. Let's give our train the trainer summit salute. That's not how we do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right.
The Duke's Infant and Child Foundation, advocating for children's brighter future.